Hey there, it's Bobby Legs, and welcome to the State of My Watch collection for the end of 2022. I periodically do the State of the Collections. I do it at the beginning of the year, in the middle part of the year, but I figured I'd do it at the end of this year. A lot of turmoil and change in the collection turnover going on throughout the year, and it's kind of overwhelming at times, partly due because I have this YouTube channel and I have to keep bringing watches in for review, and I'm exposed to a lot of different watches, right? And so I'm attracted to new pieces all the time. I'm constantly looking and searching, and it is kind of like a crazy way to live. But I've settled on some pieces that I think will stay in the collection for a while because I do enjoy them. Right, and I'm happy that I have them in a collection. I think they fit very, very nicely. So there's probably around 4, 5, 6 watches that are hopefully going to stay in the collection for a little bit. That help kind of define me as a collector. And there's a couple of other ones that are in the collection at the moment that will probably be moved on very soon. Just to raise funds to buy the next piece, right? So let's take a look. Let's flip that camera and get started. I figured the best way to start this is to showcase first the watch that I wore the most in 2022, and honestly, there's 2 watches that can claim that honor, if you will. I don't have the analytics. I don't track what watch I'm wearing on what day, but just by feel, I can tell you that there's 2 watches that I wore the most, and one is a mechanical watch and one is a digital watch. So let's go with the mechanical watch. And for me, obviously, no surprise here, it is the Rolex Submariner. I picked this watch up back in 2021. I wore it a whole lot in 2022. I recently put this on a rubber bead black strap just to switch it up a little bit. Also to lower the profile a little bit. I'm not talking about the profile like height of the watch. I'm talking about, when I went out, I started getting a little self-conscious about having the piece on and, worried about my safety at times. And whether that was real or imagined, I don't know. I just feel a little bit more comfortable wearing this watch around people with the rubber B on it. And it looks good. It looks good on wrist. It is my favorite watch in the collection. It means a whole lot to me. I have had a long journey to get this watch. It is great. Love it. It's probably the most comfortable watch I have, really. I mean, it just fits very well. The bracelet was great too. And the clasp, adjust on the fly, micro adjust on the clasp. So nice. Just a great watch. And I get it. I get the Rolex thing. I get it. They're great watches. And however you feel about them, whether you like them or not, I think the truth be told is it's one of the best brands out there. The watches are solid, they're bulletproof, and they're just great pieces. And to me, worth every penny. So let's get going to the next watch, and that is the next watch that I wore a whole lot of. And yeah, it is the Hodinkee John Mayer collaboration G-Shock. Kind of surprising to myself that I wore this so much, and I would not have bought this watch on my own if it wasn't for my 4 other good friends in the watch community who kind of decided for me that this was going to be our little mini group watch. My buddies Amin, Marcus, Colin, and Joe. And I remember I was visiting the Rolex boutique around this time last year at the end of December, and walking to the garage after that visit, and seeing a whole lot of messages and following what was going on in over the course of an hour, and the decision was made that that this was going to be our little group watch. We've been talking about having a group watch for a while, and we finally agreed on something. It's hard to get 5 people to agree on one thing when it comes to watches, I feel. So it was done. And actually, my buddy Amin bought the watch for me without even me getting any input. Like, none of the guys got any input. They just decided 4 out of 5. I guess they voted it in, and it was funny. And I was happy to, pay Amin back for it. I wouldn't have bought it on my own, but I am happy to be part of a group, those guys especially, and other friends I have in the watch community too. I mean, it's not just them. I made so many friends doing this. So yeah, I have a John Mayer G-Shock. I don't have the first edition, and I don't have the recent 3rd edition, but I'm just gonna stick with this one. And I wore it a whole lot. It was a fun watch to wear. So there you go. I want to talk about another piece that I picked up this year, a piece that for years I wanted to add to the collection, and I just kept on putting it off, right? But then the opportunity came, and I couldn't pass it up. I mean, I just got it in my mind that I wanted a Navitimer Cosmonaut, and I picked one up. And this is a really, really cool one. I wouldn't say it's a rare variant, but I don't see a lot of these come up. It has an 18 karat bezel here, and it's real. I mean, it's not capped, and it's not plated. This is gold. This is the real stuff here. And it's such a cool watch. It was made in the early 90s. And, the half-life on the tritium is long past. So it's like there's no lume. There's no lume on this. This is my only vintage watch. I guess you can say, from the early 90s. I think the rule of thumb is it's got to be over 25 years. So I think that qualifies here. And it's so cool. I just love it. I have a hard time reading it at times. But it's just great. And it really has brought more of a desire to keep adding chronographs. I tried to be a chronograph guy, and it just didn't work out. And then I got this one, and now I got the bug again, right? And now I want to add some chronographs to the collection. I think I could be a chronograph guy. But I feel like this is such a great piece. I think I definitely want to add a moon watch, a Speedmaster moon watch, eventually at some point this year. Maybe we could talk about that a little bit at the end of this video. But I just want to add some chronographs, and this is a fun one. It wears great. The strap is, it's a little thick. And I tried to actually switch out the strap, but this spring bar just does not want to budge. I don't know what the story about that is, but whatever. It can stay on the strap for a while. Such a cool watch. I love it. I can't, like I said, I can't tell the time sometimes on this one, so I just wear it, and when I want to read the time, I'll read it on my phone. But it's so cool, and it's so different. I really love the Navitimer, and I want to keep on adding Navitimers, right? Not just the Cosmonaut. Obviously, I got the Cosmonaut, but just some, a Navitimer with a Valjoux, an older one, movement, one with a B01. I think that would be a lot of fun to have a little Navitimer sub collection. Okay, moving on. I'm not going into any particular order here, but here's a watch that I have had for a good long time, easily over 15 years, and that's a Panerai Luminor. The Panerai 176 is a titanium case watch. This one, from the early 2000s, the tritium is still good on this one, and it lights up. It lights up very, very nicely. Panerai has such a unique shape to it, and because of that, it stayed in my collection. I will never sell this watch. I don't think I could ever sell this watch. And speaking of sub collections, right? I mean, I love the Panerai. I could see myself picking up a Radiomir one of these days, or a submersible, and have a 3-watch sub collection, a Panerai sub collection. I like the older ones with the ETA movements in it, or the Unitas movements in it. I'm not really into the so-called in-house movements that they've had, and more the modern Panerai. But man, what a great watch, great fun watch. I've been wearing this a lot lately too, and it's beat up a little bit, and it should be. It's just a great piece. Okay, moving on to a watch that I picked up recently, and this is a Dornbluth 99.0. That's the model, and I've been really into Dornbluth for a while. If you guys don't know, I love German watches, and that was like a big theme of my channel in the beginning, was German watches and picking up Zinns and Damascos and a bunch of other independent German watches, and they're gone. They're all gone from my collection. And but Dornbluth was an independent that I was following, and definitely wanted to add one day to the collection. There is a wait, 13 to 14 month wait, and the prices have been creeping up. This one was on Topper's Jewelers website a few months ago for a really great price, pre-owned. So, I mean, it is about 9 years old, but it works very, very well. And the best part of these Dornbluths is the case back. I mean, the case back is just awesome. Let me see if I can just get a good focus here on it. It's dipped in rose gold, so it's rose gold plated, and which is fine because it's under a sapphire crystal to protect it. It's not like it's gonna rub out or wear out over time, but it's just a beautifully decorated movement. Just awesome watch to have. It's a 42, but it's all dial, so it's gonna look a little bit big on the wrist. I have a 6 3/4 interest, but it's just so cool. And I just love winding it up and hearing it tick. It's just and the small seconds in the bottom. The 99.1 has a bigger small seconds, which I do like, and the 99.2 I think has the small seconds at the 9 o'clock position and a power reserve on the third. That's the one I really want to get at some point. So in the next few years, once I've enjoyed this, I might be ready to move on from this piece and just do a move up, a step up with Dornbluth and get that 99.2. I think I just like that watch and that look with those the small seconds at the 9 and the power reserve at the 3. There's a whole lot of dial space here, right? And at first I was like, wow, that's a whole lot of dial, and not necessarily in a great, not in a good way per se, but it's grown on me, and I still really love the hand finishing of the movement, and supporting a great German independent watchmaker. I love it. Okay, moving on, and we have the first luxury watch that I ever bought, and it is the Girard Perregaux Seahawk 2. This watch is awesome. Love it. Had no idea what I was doing when I bought the watch. Never really heard of Girard Perregaux. Someone I knew had this watch, and this is over like 17 years ago, right? And I thought to myself, I need to have that watch. I love that watch. I want to get it. So I found it and I bought it. And luckily, it's a great brand. It doesn't get as much love as some other brands do, and maybe that's their own fault for not doing the proper marketing and whatnot. But GP has been turning the corner, I feel. That Laureato line is their popular line, and they got some great other models in their catalog, in my opinion. Always been wanting to add more GP, have a GP sub collection. So I want a GP sub collection, a Panerai sub collection, a German independent watchmaker collection. Yeah. The collection, I have big plans for the collection, right? But this is a great piece. It's in really, really good shape. And it's not that I babied it. It's just, I wore it like every day for a good 7-8 years. But it's just in pretty good shape. And, at one point I thought about selling it, and then I didn't go through with it because my wife pretty much put the kibosh on it since she had bought a new buckle for it a couple years beforehand. Deploying clasp, that is, and they were expensive. So I was like, you're right. I should keep it. And I'm glad I did because it's still a great watch. Every once in a while I put it on. It's a good piece. For me, the next watch is probably the biggest surprise of the year to myself, right? I mean, I would have never thought of picking this piece up. A couple of friends of mine had, and I didn't think anything of it until it became available, new old stock, and I got a screaming deal on it. And this is the Romain Jerome Spacecraft. This is an amazing piece. It really is. Only one of 99 made. About 10, 12 years ago, these pieces came out. And it was a collaboration with Romain Jerome, Eric Girard, who's a designer, a watch designer. He's designed several MB&Fs, Vacheron, you name it. He's designed it. He's one of the top watch designers out there. And also in collaboration with Angenieur, which is a watchmaker. And it's a base ETA, I think, but the module and added complication here of the jumping hour and retrograde jumping hour was done by Angenieur, and it's really an amazing piece. High horology, looks funky. I wore it to go see Hamilton with the wife last week in New York City, and I'm like, yeah, this is a total watch to go into the city with, right? Let me just throw this on wrist. It may take me a second, but yeah, I couldn't pass up the deal, right? And not that, and let me rephrase that. Well, let me say this. Let me follow up by saying this. I want to be very, very careful. And that's why I'm kind of hesitating here a little bit. I just want to find the right words. Trying to find a good deal on something is different than buying a piece that you really, really want and like. And just because something is a good deal doesn't mean that you have to do it. But this piece was probably not in the realm of my thinking because I didn't think I could get it for the price that I got until I got it. And I'm so happy that I did because this is high horology in a funky little looking case, right? I mean, this is so cool. I love it. I'm going to do a video on it, show you guys all the functionality of it. The jumping hour, you see here, it's red on 1, and it goes to 2, 3, 4. When you wind it up, it's just a really cool piece. Conversation starter. Nobody has this piece except for the 3 other guys that I know that have it, right? But just a great piece, and I'm so glad. And it really kind of just helps rounds out the collection in a sense that I have the crazy piece, the old standby, the unique case shape, the first luxury watch, the classic chrono, the mechanical wind-up 3-hander, the digital watch, and I'm not done yet. A piece that I just picked up most recently here, and this is the Aquastar Deep Star 2. I love the look and design of this watch. It is very, very cool. This is a Phoenix brand, come back to life, and by some enthusiasts. Oh, what's the guy's name? Anyway, I forgot the guy's name. Anyway, he helped bring back Doxa, and he also ended up helping bringing back a couple of other brands that have sunsetted, and he brought them back, mostly dive brands. I'm sure I'll come up here and I'll put a little note on the video, the guy's name. But anyway, cool watch. The only thing with this one is that it's kind of small. It's 36, I guess, trying in keeping with its vintage look and a nod back to its history. But to me, it's a little bit on the small side. It was slightly bigger. It looks great here on camera, but these watches always look bigger on my wrist on camera or in photos. But in real life, they're typically, they're smaller. So this one's really, really small. So I don't know. I may say goodbye to this one very soon. It's still a killer watch. The chrono version of it is a little bit bigger. That's something that I may look into. Overall, I love the look of the Aquastar. I think it's kind of, it's not too derivative or not derivative at all, really. It's its own style. So I appreciate that. Speaking of derivative, I got the Squale 1545. And, I don't hate Squale. I actually like Squale. I've owned a bunch of Squale before. And I know sometimes Squale gets a little bad rap here because it's considered an homage watch, even though they have their own style and look. But they do some watches, some lines that are kind of homage-like. And this is a new dial variation. They had a lighter gray that I really wanted, but it was sold out. And this watch was sold out, but I found it on eBay. And, I would keep this watch. Here's the thing, I'm so used to now the maxi dial here with the bigger indices and the bigger hands that, this is the look that I prefer. And this is not a maxi, quote unquote, maxi dial per se. So I think this might be going too. So this is another watch that will probably be sold very, very soon. But it is what it is. I mean, I have a channel and I'll do the reviews and I'll move on. A couple more watches here on the digital end. I got a Frogman here, and this is a GFW 1000, I think. I'll have the model number here. Great watch, fun watch. It's really big. I don't mind it. I dig it. That's okay with me. Let's see here. Boom. That's a light here. Okay. Super fun. I mean, it's a monster. It's a monster, but it may also be going as well soon. But super fun and solid. And finally, the good old DW 5000. I always forget these names. I'm terrible with these model names. Yeah, something like that. $40, $30 on Amazon. Solid watch. I do a lot of the lawn work with this one. And the great thing about this watch, when the battery dies, I'll just buy another one. I'll always have this watch in my collection. I said it before. I always will have this watch in collection, whether it's this particular one or the next one. It'll always be in my collection. Solid. Nothing could go wrong with a G-Shock. Love the G-Shock squares. Used to have a lot more in the collection. Hopefully I'll add some more at some point. Well, here's basically the state of the collection here for the end of 2022. Looking forward to a few things in the upcoming year as I wrap up here. I'm going to be 50 next year. I'm hoping to get a call from the boutique, Rolex boutique, for a Pepsi at some point. If not, that's okay. No big deal. I don't know what I'll do once I get that call. I mean, obviously I'm going to get it, but I may have to, sell the sub in order to get the Pepsi. I think I could always get the sub back at some point. The Pepsi is a little bit harder, but if I don't get it, that's totally fine. I was hyper focused on Rolex at the beginning of 2022, and I think I'm okay with just having the Submariner in the collection if that's how the hand plays out, how the cards are dealt for me in regards to Rolex. Anyway, no big deal. I do want to add a Speedmaster Moonwatch, the Sapphire Sandwich, the newer variation with that awesome bracelet. I love that watch. I wasn't a big fan of the Speedmaster until this year. I tried it on, the new one, and I was like, you know what, this I get it. I get why people get this watch. I also get why people sell that watch and flip that watch a lot. There's a whole lot of them on the secondary, and I'm going to wait for those prices to come down on that one. They're in the mid to high fives now. If they get around 5 or just under, I'm a buyer. And so I think I want to keep it simple. I know there's going to be more watches coming in out of collection just because I have a YouTube channel. But those are the ones that I'm looking for specifically, that Omega Speedmaster and the Rolex. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I do. I love doing these collection videos, and we'll see what 2023 brings with the collection, with my channel. I appreciate all of you, and let's hope that we have. Let's hope that 2023 is better than 2022 for all of us, for many various and different reasons. Anyway, have a good one, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. If my channel is new to you and you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and click that bell icon to get updates when I upload new videos. I love making these videos and I hope you like them too. And also, if you want to support the channel, please buy me a cup of coffee. The link is in the description. Take care and I'll see you in the next video.